Hi guys, I'm Mike.
And I'm Stephen.
And this is F1 Fanatics. Welcome back to another F1 Fantasy Weekly, and we are going to be reviewing the Suzuka Grand Prix. It was alright. It was a good. I've seen some people saying it was a great race. I know I did the race review with Mark yesterday, and he said it was his favourite dry race of the season. So it's a mixed one, but yeah, I think me and Stephen are both of the opinion there was some good stuff in it, but it certainly wasn't gonna be making the highlights reel of the end of season.
Yeah.
So guys, what we will do here is we will break down what F1 Fantasy actually is. Then we'll break down 1 to 20 the scores that the drivers got. We'll then look at the F1 Fanatics Fan League before finishing off with our Kimi moment of the week. So guys, what we will do first off, so F1 Fantasy. That is a game just like any other fantasy sports game. Is you get a budget to select a certain number of players or constructors, and for us you get to pick 5 drivers from 100 million budget plus 1 constructor, and then obviously you compete against either your friends or other people around the world, and you get your score over the course of the weekend, and that score is added up over the course of the season. And if you are lucky enough to be on top, which currently Dominic is in our league of the world, then you will get the opportunity to go to a Grand Prix of your choice, although some are excluded for certain reasons that I'm not entirely sure of. But anyway guys, that is the rules of F1 Fantasy, and now we are going to run through the points from 1 to 20. So Stephen, who is first up? Who was our top scorer of the weekend?
Valtteri Bottas. Unsurprisingly, race winner. You get the most points on most occasions.
Generally, yeah.
Yeah. He came in with 46 points.
That is a very good return for Valtteri, and it was a very good weekend for Valtteri Bottas. His first win since Azerbaijan, and as we always kind of say, he is a great pick to have in fantasy in terms of price. And for those of you who have him in your team this week, he was a massive return in terms of value for money.
He is very cheap. He's the second cheapest driver in the top 6?
Yeah, he is. Alex Albon is the cheapest.
Yeah, so even Leclerc is above Bottas.
Exactly, yeah. Leclerc's boosted all the way up to 23.4 in recent weeks.
Crazy.
It is, very indeed. So number 2.
Sebastian Vettel.
Not surprising.
35 points. So 11 points difference between first and second.
That is pretty big.
Because obviously Bottas got the 2 overtakes.
Yeah, but obviously, Bottas got the 2 overtakes. Vettel got the pole position though.
Yeah.
So that was points for qualifying there.
But then lost a position in the race.
Yeah, I wasn't sure if he was on a quali streak or whatever either. He might have been.
Yeah.
We're not sure, but these are from the live scores at the time of the race, so those never have the streaks added to. But the provisional score for Sebastian Vettel was 35.
Yeah.
So I'm going to say he is probably better value for money this week than Lewis Hamilton was.
Well, yeah. Lewis, the most expensive driver in the game.
Yep, still 32 odd million, isn't he?
33 points for third.
It's not a bad return.
No.
I mean, you went double Mercedes this week, didn't you?
I went triple Mercedes.
Well, you went triple threat Mercedes, and pretty good return, actually.
It paid off.
We'll talk about that when we get to the F1 Fanatics Fan League. But number 3, Lewis, it was a pretty solid race. We discussed when we were watching the race, we were like, it was confusing why they pitted Hamilton, but at the end of Singapore, when James said to Valtteri, "We'll repay you for this," it very much felt like this was payback for Singapore following the team orders, because the new F1 graphic where they show tyre wear, and Hamilton's mediums were in the green, so he certainly didn't need to pit for kind of tyre wear at the time.
But then you think they should have just swapped position on track?
Yeah, but I don't know if
Lewis could have cruised round a lap. Valtteri would have been there. Just swapped it.
I don't know.
Then you just use DRS and you cruise them both home in 1 and 2.
You'd hope so, but I have no idea why it happened.
Yeah.
But Lewis's race was compromised from there.
Yeah.
Number 4.
Alex Albon, 28 points.
So he actually was, if you turboed him, the top scorer of the weekend.
Best
with
turbo, yeah.
56. And again, Alexander Albon, I chose not to turbo him this week, but I didn't lose out too much because I went with Carlos Sainz. He's going to be number 5, I think.
Has Albon been the best turbo ever since he joined Red Bull?
Yeah.
Week in, week out.
Week in, week out, he's been the best turbo.
It's this week, it's not going to happen.
Every single week, he has been the best turbo. Which has shown really how consistent his performances have been in the Red Bull.
Yeah.
So, and obviously some of the races where he's had to start further back due to grid penalties or crashing in qualifying, he's got a load of overtaking points as well.
Yeah. Spa? He got a ton of overtakes. Sochi, he got lots of overtakes.
Yep.
Yeah. So, yeah, that's Alex Albon.
Another, great performance by Albon. And 5.
Carlos Sainz, 27 points.
I mean, I only miss out on 2 points from Turbo and Carlos Sainz. He's still got 54 as a turbo driver.
Yeah, there's only 1 point difference between him and Albon. So.
Exactly. So absolutely superb drive from Carlos Sainz.
We've been saying it, keep faith in Sainz, because he repays you like this.
And this weekend really was a big payoff for Carlos Sainz. Yeah, really fantastic for him.
Number 6. Are you sure they don't take into account streaks? Because number 6 is Hulkenberg, 26 points.
They must have taken into account because he was on a streak. Yeah.
Yeah.
And he did just squeeze into the top 10, like he just squeezed into the top 10 in Sochi that I'd forgotten about last time we did the preview. So, 26 points. I mean, that is very good.
Decent.
Very good for
he
Hulkenberg.
Hasn't got any streaks, no.
I mean, if you have Hulkenberg in your team, I would say that's where he's peaked for the season. I'd get rid quick and invest in someone else.
Because he's... Back an Albon or Carlos Sainz.
Yeah.
Or Danny Rick.
They're much more of your safer bets. Yeah. Danny Rick as well is the better Renault. If you insist on Renault, Danny Rick is certainly the better one. And I believe cheaper at the moment, but we'll see.
Speaking of Danny Rick, number 7, 23 points. Finished P6.
Well, he finished P7, but then got moved up and classified as P6. So I don't know if those points have been taken into account.
I believe so, yeah. Because my scores have changed.
And so, obviously, the only reason he's 23 is because, obviously, Sainz and Albon both made it to Q3 in qualifying, getting those points.
Yeah.
And, obviously, Danny Rick was knocked out very surprisingly in Q1. But that was the lowest point of his weekend. The highest point was the race.
Because he had car issues in qualifying, didn't they? Didn't they couldn't figure out the right balance. So.
Potentially.
And then they've somehow turned it around to make a good race car.
Well, Hulkenberg had a hydraulics. Hulkenberg had a hydraulics issue, but that's the same with Sergio Perez. Who is he the next man?
No.
Oh,
the next man is obviously the guy that finished ahead of Perez, Pierre Gasly.
Now Pierre Gasly is at 9.4 million now.
That's a drop. He got 17 points this weekend.
But at 9.4 million...
That's on the cheaper end.
Yeah, so if you're looking for a midfield driver between the likes of Danny Rick, Sergio Perez, I suppose Hulkenberg comes into that, Norris and Sainz. Pierre Gasly is now a serious option to bring into your team.
He's doing well at Toro.
Yeah,
like he did last season.
Yeah, his last 2 races have been absolutely fantastic with P8 finishes, haven't they?
Very good, very strong.
Indeed.
Now the man who finished behind Pierre Gasly, Sergio Perez, 17 points as well, joint. And Perez, because the race finished a lap early, because obviously Perez got smashed into the wall by Gasly. Well, racing incident. So Perez actually keeps his points that he would have got from 9th. So that's why he's on 17, I believe.
Yeah. No, that is true.
That's a strong point.
He's classified in P9. That last lap incident never happened.
Yeah.
Although I imagine Racing Point's financial bill probably still happens.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, fantastic for the Mexican coming from 17th and obviously in real life, Nico Hulkenberg, we spoke about in the race review, wasn't a great race from him because obviously Ricciardo and Perez both finished behind him and both managed to finish ahead of Nico Hulkenberg.
Yeah.
But
He just couldn't make the tyres last. I think that's what the problem.
Yeah.
He was lacking a bit of pace.
Yes.
In the latter stages.
And maybe he was still having issues from that hydraulics problem that he suffered in qualifying.
On the same day as well.
Yeah, exactly. Well, yeah, exactly. It was only about 3 hours difference between end of qualifying and the race.
And to round up the top 10, Charles Leclerc, 9 points.
I mean, if you went for Charles Leclerc over Max Verstappen, then you've had a good day.
Yes.
But in terms of the other top drivers, he's not great. But then again, I suppose if you're going for double top drivers, it's usually, unless you've been very clever with your earnings, it's usually Bottas Leclerc, Bottas Verstappen. So technically, Bottas Leclerc still would have been your best bet this weekend. Although after that first lap incident and the subsequent penalties, with Leclerc, it isn't a great return in terms of money.
Yeah.
You would have been better off having having Bottas plus Sainz, Albon and Ricciardo.
Or Bottas
Hulkenberg.
and Lewis Hamilton.
Or Bottas and Lewis Hamilton. Like some people at the table.
Okay, so that's the top 10. So we're
Okay.
just going to fire through the next 10.
Cool, I will leave that up to you.
Lance Stroll, number 11, 7 points. There's a few 7-pointers here. Kvyat, 7 points. George Russell, 7 points. Decent return for Williams. Kubica, 6 points. Kimi Räikkönen, disappointing, 5 points. Roman Grosjean, 0 points. What happened to Räikkönen?
Well, I presume that's just on places lost because he qualified in Q3, so he would have got 3 points for that.
Strong qualifying, but another disappointing race for Haas. Kevin Magnussen felt bad for Grosjean, so also got 0 points. Giovinazzi joining the 0 point club as well. Lando Norris, disappointingly -3 points, even though he finished the race.
Yeah, I again presume with
point,
him in terms of its qualifying
places,
and places dropped.
And to round up the drivers, the only guy that retired, technically.
Yeah, although I believe that George Russell was also classified as a DNF.
Oh, okay.
But because I think Kubica had been lapped so many times, he still finished ahead of Kubica.
Max Verstappen, number 20. Only got you, though, -4 points. So, considering in terms of minus points, it's not actually that bad.
No, that was pretty good for me. Because I did have Max Verstappen still.
Okay, on to the constructors. Mercedes, obviously top, 79 points. Very strong. Because Ferrari, how many is that? 35?
So
Ferrari got 44, so 35 point difference, isn't it?
Yeah.
Am I doing the math right?
Yeah.
And then Red Bull, 34 points, 10 points behind Ferrari. Renault, another strong performance. What was it? Was it Monza?
It was Monza that was the strong triple threat.
If you stuck with them, they've just matched Red Bull again, 34 points.
I believe a brief look at the league will obviously look in more detail, but I believe Hayden in the league, who has Renault, has stuck with them as their constructor. So good value for money there.
Because he's probably got strong drivers. McLaren came in 24 points, and then Toro Rosso got 19 points. Racing Point 19, Williams 13, and Alfa Romeo and Haas
0.
didn't bother with the points.
That's all right. They don't need to.
I can't believe both Haas drivers got 0 points.
I mean, it's harsh. Because...
they were together.
Yeah.
That's
I'd say it wasn't too terrible, but none of them scored a point.
It's shocking.
Yeah, it's shocking. All right.
That's the roundup.
That's the roundup of the points, guys. And now, what we are going to move on to, as usual, our return, because we're doing this late enough that the league is actually updated. We're going to give a round through of the F1 Fanatics League. So, as usual, there are 10 people in, so we'll do an in-detail look at the top 5, and then we shall just run through and have a highlight from the rest of the 5 in the league. So, Stephen, would you like to start us off with who is top of the league still?
Playtech Superlife. I'm just getting his team up now. Yeah, he had an alright week. 197 points. Didn't quite break the 200 point. He had Lewis, he had Bottas, he had Mercedes. He had the triple Mercedes threat. He knows what's going on. But then he had Norris, -3 points. Verstappen, -4 points. B turboed the big man, Alex Albon, 56 points.
So, big return there. And
So considering you got 2 drivers with minus points and still finished on 197 is very impressive.
It is, and that is the reason why he is still top of the league. But I believe I have cut his lead to under 100 now, which is I'm pretty impressed with that. I'm chasing him down, and I've got a bit of breathing room actually in second place from the Death Eaters, who didn't have a great week. So I'm on 991 points in the league. I scored 208 points in total this week. Valtteri Bottas 46, Max Verstappen bringing in the -4, Alexander Albon 28. And here's the frustrating one. I took out Sergio Perez to bring in Kimi Raikkonen. I backed him.
Ooh.
And, well, it was debating between bringing in Kimi Raikkonen and Daniel Ricciardo.
Well, because we thought it was going to be a wet race. So that's why we were saying Kimi last week.
Exactly. We went wet picks for a wet race, and unfortunately it was glorious sunshine in Suzuka after the typhoon. Well, I think just brushed through it. Didn't really head over Suzuka.
No, it was quite far north.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So, yeah, 5 points for me for Kimi Raikkonen, so not a great return there. But then my turbo driver, Carlos Sainz, 54 points, great. And then constructors, Mercedes, 79 points. A very good return there as well. Third, who was in third, Stephen?
The Death Eaters. Yeah, quite far away behind you. What, 70, 80?
Yeah, he's on 931 points, so he is 60 points exactly behind me.
Sorry, I lost it. Give me a second. Hold.
Please pause and wait a moment while we go through some technical difficulties.
Okay,
Oh,
so
we're back,
he also had Verstappen and he got 148 points in total. Not great. He had the Verstappen-Norris combo, -4, -3. He backed Ferrari, which after qualifying, I'm sure a lot of people were going, I should have backed Ferrari.
Yeah, especially because I believe Ferrari were on a streak, weren't they?
Yes, they were one of the only constructors. So he had Leclerc and he had Ferrari, 9 points, 44 points. Not great. But he had Bottas and he had Turbo Albon. So that recovered the points.
It saved him a little bit, but massively still took a deficit to me, because going into this week we were level on points. So yeah, I've made a big kind of step up and increased my gap this week. In fourth place we have you, Stephen. There's just a mid-table Ferrari team, 916 points. So you have actually caught up to the top 3, and so a third place finish, or even if it's a really strong end to the season, could be on the cards. I think
top 4.
first might be out of place, but 249 points, which for me, I believe that is the highest score of the season.
Wait, in our league?
Yeah.
Fair.
I believe actually Tamako
But-
Playtech Super Live actually might have got a 250.
I need to add, I took a -10 this week.
Yeah,
So technically I got a 239.
239.
Well, because that's -10.
So the
249.
-10 hasn't been taken yet.
I don't know how it works actually.
I think it has been taken.
Oh, I'll take that then. 249.
Cool.
So I'll tell you what I did.
Okay.
So I had, my team was Leclerc, Verstappen, Sainz, Albon, Ricciardo, Mercedes. So I took out Leclerc and Verstappen and Brian Bottas and Lewis, which massively paid off.
Yeah, big time.
But that's what annoyed me about the Lewis move, because I was like, I could have had a 1-2 there.
Yeah, exactly. That cost you on fantasy-wise. But it was nice to see Valtteri get a win.
Yeah.
I thought he had a very good
I
weekend
was
and a
happy
great
to see
race.
Bottas win, but I would have rather Lewis be second. I don't
Yeah.
know why he wasn't.
Exactly.
So yeah.
And then moving on to 5th position, and that is Mark from Beyond the Grandstand. Do you want to take us through his team, Stephen? He's on 812 points, so you've really opened up a 100-point gap between you and him now, which is huge with only 4 races left in the season.
So he went Lando -3. He went back to the Ferrari, Leclerc and Ferrari. Then he had Bottas, Turbo, Danny Rick, good shout, and Carlos Sainz. So those were they brought in points. 169 total. All right.
Yeah.
That's an all right score.
And then we have in 6th place, so now we will round off the bottom 5. We'll round off the bottom 5 a bit quicker. But we have 2 teams tied on 718, and Zach has actually made a late push, because I believe he was only just ahead of Force Lebanon Ferrari, and he has overtaken Katie, and it is I in 6th position. Well, he's actually level on points, so that is impressive. So he's on 718, scored 200 points this week. The highlight probably being Carlos Sainz as his turbo driver. Katie's team, oh no, Stephen has his head in his hands. Oh dear, what is the highlight or low light for Katie's team, Stephen?
She got 130.
Okay.
I respect.
We respect you, Katie.
Turbo's Kevin Mack.
And what's 2 times 0?
0.
So, yeah.
No minus points. No
minus points, so that's good.
Hey, and Albon turboed, what? How much did he get you? 56. Come on now.
Exactly, 56 points. I mean,
it's K-Mac.
yeah.
We respect.
Exactly, she only would have got 28 points more,
You-
which would have put her comfortably in 6th place.
yeah.
But we won't focus on that. Won't focus on that. Then we have Force Lebanon Ferrari, 619 points. So he's just 99 points behind Katie. 102 points this week. Highlight is probably that Renault constructor. 34 points, but also the -4, and his turbo driver was Kimi Raikkonen. But he could have only really done better with Danny Kvyat with 7 points. So yeah, not great picks for this weekend. And then who is in 9th position?
Ashley got 176 this week.
We need to take a moment to celebrate. Ashley is off the bottom of the table that he's been chilling.
Hey!
So congratulations, Ash. Well done.
He's got George Russell. He was good at the start, but now he's only getting you 7 points.
He's a poor pick.
He had Nico, Red Bull, Leclerc. Yeah, it was all right. All right. 176 is all right.
Yeah.
It's good. No, I put 176 as good.
Yeah. So he's on 617 points. And actually, with that strong performance, 8th place is in sight for Ashley.
2 points.
Exactly. So a couple of good weeks, maybe even 7th might not be totally out of reach.
No.
And then rounding off the bottom is the F1 debate show. We admire them with their resilience. 595, so not too far behind Ashley. Turboed Albon, so that was very good.
Shout.
The drivers were minus Verstappen and Leclerc, unfortunately minus for their Verstappen.
Went for Kimi, which we said was a shout. So
Yeah.
that's your fault.
That's my fault, and McLaren remaining as constructor continues to hurt them every week. I mean, if they had a Ferrari or a Mercedes in there as constructor, then that's starting to look a fairly good side.
I don't know where the money is. Can
the bank.
Can you not afford a Vettel or a Lewis? Then?
I don't know. Or maybe they just stay true to who they like. And obviously Jordan, in control of the team, is a big McLaren fan, so he is backing his boys to the end. We respect you, Jordan.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that rounds off the league. And guys, I will put it up on the screen as usual. You can still join the league, and if you have been playing all season, and at least from the second half of this season, your points will just be added so you can see where you place in our league and see if you can go in there. And obviously, we shout out everyone in the league, and the massive kind of shout out to Tomako Playtech Superlife for still maintaining his lead. He's led from day one in this league and still maintains it, although the lead is under 100 now. So maybe a very good couple of weekends, but I just feel he's too good consistently to kind of catch it. It may be too late. But Death Eaters, congratulations. I'm convinced he is still on top of the Global League. I will just check that now, otherwise I might be kind of rubbing in a sore wound. Global League. And oh no. Forget what I said. Oh no. He's moved down to the top 10, and he is now 50 odd points off top. So oh no. I'm sorry, Dominic. You can come back. We believe in you. We're backing you to come back. And I suppose that rounds us off to finish off a Fantasy Weekly podcast with a Kimi moment of the week. And the Kimi moment of the week this week is...
These have become a lot more of a struggle. Second half of the season, Kimi's gone.
Yeah.
The race results haven't been going anywhere.
I know what it is.
Oh, here we go.
Kimi Raikkonen said the Alfa Romeo's car pace was confusing.
Oh.
A confused Kimi.
Yes.
He's not a happy Kimi.
No. Confused Kimi.
He's like the Alfa Romeo had pace, and then the Alfa Romeo didn't have pace. Or maybe the confusion is Kimi was like, there was meant to be rain. I was going to do well in the rain.
Everyone was backing me.
And then there was sunshine. What's this about? But realistically, I think it's because they're out of touch of getting anywhere higher in the constructors than 8th. And it's a pretty safe bet to say that they'll stay above Haas for the rest of the season. So I imagine with them, focus is purely on 2020 to carry on making steps forward.
Yeah. It's disappointing to see, though. You kind of want to see them be competitive.
You do, yeah.
They must be switched off how badly they've fallen back.
Yeah, I think Alfa, Haas and Williams, if it's not obvious already, their development is purely on 2020 now, because there's nothing really they can gain from this season. I mean, Williams have probably been doing that for a long while, because this season has just been a complete write-off. But yeah, but there, guys, is the Kimi moment of the week. We hope you have enjoyed that roundup of the F1 Fantasy review. We obviously are the place where you can get all your kind of F1 Fantasy week. If you like the video, you can give it a thumbs up. What can the guys comment on below, Stephen?
Who is the Zero Club the best club?
Is the Zero Club the best
I
club?
just can't believe there are 3 drivers on 0 points this week, and 2 of them were from Haas.
I mean, it shows that they're friends now.
And Lando Norris, is he the first driver to get minus points and finish a race?
I don't know, and none come to mind, but these are probably things we should know.
But we're asking the audience.
We're asking the audience.
They know more than us.
Because we want 1 million subscribers.
Sorry?
Well, I was going, who wants a millionaire? That's, you ask the audience. So that's who. So who wants 1 million subscribers? We do. So we're asking the audience to subscribe. Oh, look at that link in.
I'm confused.
I'm confused.
I'm just as confused as Kimi right now.
Okay. So yeah, guys, if you're in the league, let us know how you did this. Well, obviously you've seen. Let us know your thoughts on this week. Are you happy with the points that you got? Are you happy with your result? What are your kind of thoughts ahead of next week? And the preview will be coming to the Mexican Grand Prix in the F1 Fantasy Weekly podcast next Wednesday. But yeah, and if you're not part of the league, hopefully you'll join it. But if not, let us know how your team did and what are your thoughts on the big scorers. Who was your biggest scorer this week? And guys, if you are new to the channel, don't forget you can subscribe to it, click the bell notification, and you can keep up to date with all our latest content and get more F1 stuff just like this. But for now, thanks for watching. You F1 fans, keep racing.